you get the tektite, you hold it in your hand. What do you do now?
Okay. What you do is you focus on being in touch with a particular person. Okay. You always use psychic self-defense first before you do anything.
What do you mean by psychic self-defense?
Okay. Psychic self-defense is a tool that we use because it protects you 100% from the astral or the spiritual plane. And it protects you about 98% from the physical plane because we do have to go through learning experiences in this lifetime.
We certainly do.
So whether you're using, I use my own method, or whether you're using herbs or gemstones as an example, this one.
Ah, my favorite.
The tiger's eye is the stone of protection.
Gorgeous.
So when you're wearing that, okay, it actually helps protect you.
If you can show that a little better, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Okay.
And I know many people, women love wearing tiger's eye, and even men wear it.
Oh, yeah, and it's protection before you do anything, such as using the tektite to ask for somebody that passed away to come to you. Okay. And the reason you use protection is even though you have somebody positive that passed away that you're looking to make contact with, you want to make sure that nothing negative accidentally comes with it. So even if you're meditating, you want to use psychic self-defense. But this stone, if you don't do anything else except the stone, or maybe your own form of prayer for protection, will help with that.
Supposing that you wear tiger's eye jewelry, is that going to be a form of protection?
Yes.
You're wearing it. It's funny, I was going to wear...
Because it automatically does that. You don't have to think about it. They have their own vibrations, whether you believe in them or not. So when you're wearing tiger's eye, it automatically protects you on some level. Not as intense as some of the forms you and I use.
How about color? Because if the camera can focus in on my earrings, I felt that red was very important today to wear. Okay, and I went right to my closet, and it's hard to see the color, but they're ruby red earrings. Now, what would... Just color, what would...
Well, color has its own vibration. Some of it we use for healing.
What would make me pick ruby red earrings
With red, it heightens your energy. It gives you more impact. And as an example, on a day where you might feel a little bit tired, or you want a little bit more energy, it will just automatically put you in a better mood. It'll pick you up. It intensifies whatever your mood is, by the way. So as an example, if somebody was very depressed, it would actually make them more depressed, so you wouldn't want them to wear it.
Right.
If you're in a positive mood and maybe just a little bit tired,
well,
it'll heighten that.
I think
it'll energize you.
Because I've been doing a lot of work and preparing for the show, and I said, I need that extra energy. I'm going to put. So you guys, if you're a little tired, put your red earrings on, or your red shirt, or whatever it is, your red tie, and
And it's cute because you have it on Fluffy too.
That's right, Fluffy. Fluffy's wearing red too. See, there he is, Fluffy. Fluffy's got the red also.
Now, sometimes you need that heightened energy.
Now, what other stones do you have there? You have the.
Well, as an example, we use amethyst.
My favorite, my absolute favorite.
Okay. Now, amethyst, it's really funny. Amethyst heightens your spiritual levels from wherever they are, not compared to other people, but compared to yourself. One of the things that I find I personally like is if you have a party and you're worried about somebody drinking and driving, if you have an amethyst in the room with the party, it tones down their level of alcohol. So they will either drink less, or it will not intensify in their system as much.
Interesting. What do you think about...
and it's a protection stone also.
Is it really? Yes. What do you think about rose quartz? Because I have found that with my clients and students, when I tell them to wear rose quartz, it draws love to them.
Yes. It's a very strong love magnet.
And it works like magic.
With metaphysics, there's a law. You have to understand the laws of nature to work with metaphysics. And one of the laws is like attracts like. So when you're looking at rose quartz, it's pink, it's warm, it gives that type of an energy. And the vibration of it actually attracts relationships, more love relationships rather than, say, partying relationships. So it's more of a universal love, relationship love, and it's also a healing stone.
Yes, it does feel that soothing.
That softness.
Well, I always tell my students to put people in the pink light of love. People whom they have trouble with, they put them in the pink light, and they find that magically, miraculously, the person is like their best friend.
Yeah, because it's universal love.
Absolutely. Now I think, so you use these as part of your practice?
A little bit. Mainly, I have a few books out, and I have CDs and different things.
Talk about your website, talk about your books. We'd like to know about that.
My website is mariadeandreasolomon.com.
Okay, we're going to have that on the screen.
And it has my products and services on there.
Marvelous.
And most of my books are how-to books. So as an example, with the gemstones, it would tell you what the stones are, how to use them, why you would use them, why you would not use them in certain situations. It actually gives you formulae.
Now, where is the best place to go to get the best stones? Or it doesn't matter, you just go to any
It really doesn't.
Any
I
stone
find that
store.
I will go to a hobby store because they sell little stones and different rocks, and they're not a fortune.
Yes.
You know, a stone is a stone. Sometimes you can use a stone literally from the beach or the street. It depends on what you're working on.
That's
because they all vibrate.
Yes.
Okay. Also, you can go to a craft store as an example. Now, you can go to a New Age store or Botanica, but you don't need to.
Because they'll charge you a lot of money.
Definitely.
For the same thing.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter with the size of the stone for 90% of what you do. It doesn't matter if it's a raw stone. It doesn't matter if it's tiny or large. It's vibrational.
What about, now, should the person wear it on their person, or should they make it into a necklace, or put in, you know, a man put in his pocket, or?
It really depends on the specific use of it. You know, as an example, I always tell people you want to cleanse the stones first, and as an example, you can put it in direct sunlight for 3 days to cleanse any negative energy from it.
Wonderful.
And that could just be because the store owner had a bad day, the people at the warehouse weren't happy, the person that mined it had a miserable day.
You can feel
it doesn't mean it's intentional.
Right.
But before you use it and have it mesh with your energy, you want to cleanse it.
Yes.
And as an example, if you're working on finance, if you use the stone, see, pyrite, which is a gold-looking stone, they actually call it fool's gold. If you carry that in your wallet, in your pocket, within 3 feet of you, it will attract finance.
What about love potions? Let's talk about love potion number 9.
Love potions actually work.
They
work
really,
on
how
a
about love
vibrational
potion
level.
number 9?
Well, depending on whose formula, probably.
Okay, so
But
talk
the
to us
herbs
about
work-
love potion. We
Well,
want to
the
hear about
herbs
that.
work. They have very strong vibrations, again, whether you
Right.
believe in them or not in nature. And as an example, there's a drink out called, slow gin.
Slow gin.
Now, slow gin,
Okay.
and if you go out and you go somewhere where you have a cocktail or dinner or a bar, you know, you can get the drink, and the ingredient in it is the sloe berry, S-L-O-E.
Slow berry.
berry.
Everyone on TV, slow berry for love potion.
And the reason for that is in ancient times, they used the sloe berry as an aphrodisiac.
Ew.
So what it does
Slow
is it makes
berry.
you more open, it makes you more receptive, it makes you more aware of what you truly feel.
Now, where
So
can
it doesn't
people
make
get
you do
this?
anything.
Because I know my viewers are going to be calling me, where can I get my slow berry? I've got this girl, I've got this guy. What?
A lot of times you can go to places that literally sell just herbs, like there's a store called Aphrodisiac. A lot of times vitamin places, when they sell herbs, sometimes they sell that, sometimes they can order it
The
for you.
vitamin shop in Staten Island, for example,
Probably.
probably can get slow berry.
If they don't have it,
How do
you
you
can
spell
probably
that?
order it.
I'm sure people are very interested.
S-L-O-E, slow berry.
S-L-O-E, okay, slow berry.
And it's a very ancient aphrodisiac. Now, sometimes they use potions because they mix things. Like with the drink, they add some other things, but the main ingredient is still the berry. So it's just understanding nature.
Now, what is this thing about potions historically? You know, you see, you know, these old movies, them mixing. Is that real? I mean, you know,
Well, some of it is.
because I don't get into those things, but, you know, my practice is healing and spirituality, which is
A different
like
form.
yours. But, you know, it's very interesting, the things you do. But is that a real thing, these potions? I mean, what other kind of potions do you use or would you recommend?
Well, it's a combination of things, depending on who's making them, because some people really know what they're doing. Some people don't. And a lot of what I do is very, very ancient because I'm from Europe. Some of it happens to be my formula because I've been doing this for years.
But you're not ancient. You just had your 28th birthday.
Oh, I love it.
Would you give us an example of someone that used a love potion maybe and how it worked?
Oh, I have a funny story.